All right, you guys, this is lot number 761. This is a super nice gelding, but we want to just kind of tell you the backstory on him so that you guys kind of know the whole shebang here. Because I don't want him to find the wrong home. I want him to get a good home, and I want him to get the correct home for him. This is a 6 coming 7-year-old registered Palomino gelding. The papers are in the mail. The lady who sold him at the sale barn said that he is double bred Oklahoma fuel and has Firewater Flit on the papers. So she said that he's by Louisiana fuel and out of a Firewater Flit Oklahoma fuel mare on the bottom. They bought this horse and bred all their mares to him. And she said that he was broke as a 3-year-old and that basically he's always been a really in your pocket kind of horse. She said, but he's been super in your pocket and then also a little spooky. She said, so he's a little different. We've always just accepted that like he'll be super in your pocket one minute and then be like, oh shit, what is that the next minute? So they bred all their mares to him when he was 4, 5, and 6 years old. They cut him. He's only been a gelding since September of last year. And she sent him to a boy to ride in the feedlot. He has been in the feedlot and the boy told her, if you ride him every day, he's the best horse you'll ever own. If you give him a couple of days off, he's never bucked and he's never been like a bronc or anything, but he's a little touchy. And you know, the first one of the day you rope on him, he'll but he was not meant to be a rope horse. He was meant to be a barrel horse. He's going to be a fantastic barrel prospect for somebody. He really wants to break at the pole and give in the face, but he can be a little bit reactive, but not in a dangerous way. Again, the boy said, no buck, no rear up, nothing stupid. But like if you give him a couple of days off, like when you go to catch him, he'll blow and snort and you're walking him and he'll find things to spook at and that kind of behavior. Once you get on him and get him riding, head drops after a minute and he's all right. So he was sold to me with a full disclosure of what he is. He is going to be a perfect horse for a teenager or an experienced person who's looking for a barrel prospect or even a rope horse prospect. But we do know that he's a young horse that was a stud for a long time. And that while he hasn't ever been a bronc or busted in half and hurt anybody, nothing along those lines, if you give him a couple of days off, he can be just, you know, when you catch him, he'll kind of find things to spook at. But under saddle, they said he's way better under saddle than he is on the ground on days like that. And again, he's been in the feedlot for a couple of months. Yeah, I mean, he's been in the feedlot. And this horse would make a fantastic head horse prospect. This horse would make a fantastic barrel prospect. And he is 6 to 6. I think he was either 6 this year or 7 this year. But he is registered. He's Louisiana fuel on top and Firewater Flit and Oklahoma fuel on bottom. So she did say double bred Oklahoma fuel. My only issue is the lady said after we gelded him, we sent the papers in to have him changed from stallion to gelding. And she was like, when they came back from the AQHA, I left him in that envelope, that kind of story. She's like, as soon as I find him, I'll mail him. I don't have the registration papers, but he did come to me as a registered horse. So as soon as his papers come, it is not hard to go from a stud to a gelding. That is all. Every gelding was a stud one time. So it's not hard. And after they gelded him, she did send him off to a feed yard, and he did have a couple of months in the feed yard. And the boy told her, if you use this horse every day, he's the best sucker you own. If you give him a couple of days off that first day at first, you're like, you know, like he wants to be just a little bit, you know, he wants to be just a little bit pushy and kind of find stuff to look at. And the first one of the day you rope off of him, he did say, I've roped off of him 100 times. If I give him a day off, the first couple times I swing the rope, he'll kind of act like you've never swung a rope off of him before. So this is a horse that just is a little different. I mean, we've all had them though. We've all had ones that have a little different to them. As long as he's not dangerous and not trying to hurt me, I can handle your quirks as long as they're not quirks that will hurt me. Absolutely. I can handle your quirks as long as your quirks won't hurt me. And honestly, I think he could go work for somebody that just wants to trail ride. Like Jess and I'll tell you, like he's not done anything in the amount of time he's been here that's been super bad. I wouldn't think that a novice rider would want him. I think he would intimidate them just in his sheer size. This is a very freaking strong animal. I don't think an older rider that only rides once a month would probably want him. But I think anybody looking for a head horse prospect, looking for a ranch horse, or looking for a barrel horse would probably really like him. And again, Jess will spin him around right here for you. So somebody's put a lot of time and effort into him. And you can tell he's got a little bit of a feedlot handle. I mean, Jess, will you just kind of trot him up and down right there so they can see him move out? That's the only bad thing, Belinda, about Facebook is you can't read sarcasm through text. I wish we could. It would make things so much better. You can tell right there he just wants to elope. Like this horse, he wants to just go into a lope. You can tell, like, this is a horse that's a little bit more energy, and he's not trying to be ugly. He just kind of wants to go do something. I mean, he just needs a freaking job. The thing about him is it's like he's better than Green Broke, but it's like he's not had any time out of the feedlot. You know what I'm saying? Like, he needs miles to go ride. Like, he needs somebody to go ride him out. A lot of times in the feedlot, they can just kind of walk trot because you guys, there's harder ground there. Cow pee, cow poop, it's slick, that kind of stuff. Yep. Somebody tried to do a pretty good job on him. I mean, he just needs... Perfect. Okay, go that way. I bet he does have a gorgeous lope. Jess is just trying to... Jess said that he feels like he has a lot of power and she's just a little bit intimidated. So that's why she hasn't just let him outright lope off circles. And that's okay. You have to remember that Jess is a great rider. But until Jess came to work here, she was still kind of taking lessons somewhere. Like she wants to be. I can tell you one thing. As long as you can see the top of his head right there, he's not going to buck with you. You know why? Yeah, because tell him right there. Just make him stop. Tell him whoa. Like, as he starts to lope, you can tell Jess is getting just a little nervous. Not because he's just very powerful. And I think that his head up is sensing a little bit of her nervousness. Hold on, he's got a potty. Potty break. He does have a gorgeous lope. And I think that if somebody were to take him and put 30 days of pasture riding, pasture roping, and pasture time on him, he would be great. Because he is not dangerous. But again, I don't think that a maybe 13, 14-year-old freaking hand, would be fine on him. But a little kid, he's really powerful. And Jess said, I feel like I'm on a rocket ship. Like, this is a very powerful horse. She said he's more powerful than Thor. There's a lot. I ride Thor, and I'm telling you, sometimes when I ask Thor from a trot to a lope, I know I'm like, if Thor wanted to be, yeah, Thor's got some rocket juice, go-go power to the moon. Will you trot a couple of circles and just a little lope to the left and see if he might, or that was to the left, to the right. The other left, the other right. He's a lot of horse, and being a stud for so long, he's just, Jess is just going to trot. Even if you need to trot 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 huge circles to get comfortable, just be easy. You don't have to rush it. It's all right. Wrong lead. Just let him. I think a lot of his thing too is he's not been ever allowed to lope. And I think that's part of his issue too, is because he's been in a feedlot where they do a lot of trotting. They do a lot of long trotting and this horse wants to... See right there when he settles into a long trot, and you can tell somebody's got him broke. He wants to break at the pole and do right. He's just... Make you some little circles, like make a little circle and then trot back to a big circle, and that way he starts to just kind of... Yeah. Okay, I'll be the... Yeah. There you go. I don't mind. You can... That's okay. There, he swapped onto it. He swapped. Good job, and you felt it. Awesome. That's all right. He's wanting to. He's thinking about it. There you go. In the front, he switched. There you go. There, he got it. He got it. You did perfect. And you're getting faster and faster, and your face is getting like this. Right there. Easy. Just tell him whoa. Oh, there you go. Hey, you and him both did fantastic, and you didn't get nervous. You just stayed on your pockets and stayed quiet, and your hands stayed quiet. He is. He just needs rides. This is a horse that has zero dangerous to him. He needs rides. He doesn't need anybody to do any more braking. He can use a little bit of tuning up at the trot and lope with his headset. I need to add him to the cat tab. I think my cat tab is spent. Jess is like, I'll talk to Colton, but I might start a cat tab. And I'm like, Jacob doesn't want it. It's okay. Oh, you're like, Colton, so about this tractor work, do you want to do tractor work every Saturday and Sunday for the next 5 years? I'll throw a little cat your way. Colton. Yeah. He is fantastic. And Jess I am so proud of you. You stayed so relaxed. When he got onto the right lead, he kind of started going a little faster, and you got that look on your face like, and I was like, it's fine. Remain calm. Yeah. Yeah. He is beautiful. He has no kick, no buck. Let me tell you, we've had zero problematic behavior out of this horse. There has been no issues with him as an individual that would make me feel like this horse is going to hurt somebody.
I love his big
For sure. He has been fantastic. Absolutely. Jess is going to walk him back up there to the barn, and we will get, we have 2 fuel bred horses, Fuel in my caboose and him.
Yes, they both look pretty similar.
They do look a lot alike. Yeah, Fuel in my caboose does. This horse reminds me a little bit of Effort too. Like, just Effort wants to kind of stay up in your hands and likes that contact. This is a horse that just needs a job, you guys. He did calm down right after loping, but of course, as she started going, he kind of picked his head back up. This horse wants to go have a job. He needs a job. He's a horse that just needs a road. That tail cracks me up. Gloria, I don't think I do. Jess is like, I did it. I did it. I did it. Hooray. I love it. I love it. All right, you guys. On to the next one.